In the heart of a bustling city, there existed a small animal shelter that was in dire need of renovation. The dilapidated building was in desperate need of repair, and the local authorities had deemed it unfit for use, forcing the shelter's residents to be relocated to other facilities. Among the animals residing there was a sweet mother dog who refused to leave her baby's side. Her world revolved around her little one, and she couldn't imagine a moment without him. But as the days passed, they were both faced with an uncertain future. The kind staff at the shelter made every effort to ensure the well-being of the animals, but their resources were stretched thin, and they couldn't guarantee the dog and her puppy would be kept together during the move. The thought of being separated from her baby filled the dog with dread, and she desperately clung to the hope that they would remain together. As the day of the transfer approached, anxiety gnawed at the dog's heart. She whimpered softly, her eyes pleading for understanding. The shelter workers, deeply moved by her plight, tried their best to comfort her, knowing that soon they would be forced to part ways. Finally, the day arrived, and one by one, the animals were loaded into transport vans to be taken to their new temporary homes. The dog watched in horror as her companions disappeared from sight, her own fate hanging in the balance. With each passing moment, her hope of staying with her puppy dwindled. Suddenly, a gentle hand stroked her back, and a familiar voice whispered soothing words into her ear. It was the shelter manager, his tone conveying the difficult decision they had reached. He explained that due to the lack of space in the new facility, they wouldn't be able to accommodate both her and her puppy, and therefore, they had made arrangements for them to be adopted separately. Although her heart shattered at the thought of losing her baby, she knew that this selfless act would ultimately give her son a better chance at a happy life. As she was led away, she turned for one last glance. Her eyes met the puppy's, and in that heart-wrenching instant, they both knew that nothing would ever be the same again. The dog found herself in a cozy temporary home, but her thoughts were constantly with her puppy. Days turned into weeks, and the pain of separation only intensified. She yearned to be reunited with her beloved baby, wondering if he, too, missed her as much as she missed him. Meanwhile, the puppy, now named Buddy, had been welcomed into a loving family. He quickly adapted to his new surroundings, showering his adoptive parents with affection. Although he had no memory of his biological mother, he sensed the profound bond they had shared, which continued to linger in his heart. One day, Buddy's new owner discovered an old blanket in the back of the car. The blanket still carried the faint scent of the puppy's mother, and Buddy couldn't resist its pull. As he snuggled into the familiar aroma, a sense of longing washed over him. He whimpered softly, unable to understand the deep-seated yearning that suddenly gripped him. At that very moment, hundreds of miles away, the dog lying on a cold concrete floor next to her baby's blanket, she too was overcome with an inexplicable wave of emotion. Her heart ached with a profound sadness that transcended the physical pain of separation. She had given her baby up out of love, hoping to secure a brighter future for him. Yet she couldn't shake off the persistent feeling that a part of her soul was missing. The walls around her seemed to mock her with their emptiness, and the absence of her puppy's playful energy echoed within her. As if guided by an invisible force, she made her way to the corner where the blanket lay. She had laid there for what felt like an eternity, and now it was all she had left of her baby. Snuggling close to the blanket, she inhaled deeply, trying to imprint its scent into her memory. In that moment of quiet desperation, she realized that although their bodies might be separated, their hearts would forever remain connected by the unbreakable bond of motherly love. Days turned into weeks, and the dog's world became a blur of routine and despair. She went through the motions of life without her puppy, her spirit broken by the depth of her loss. She knew in her heart that nothing would ever be the same again.